Have you ever seen one of these knurled knob guitar tuning pegs? I first saw these on one of Keith Merrow's Schecters, and I thought it would be pretty cool to see if I could design something similar to this for one of my guitars. And it turned out to be pretty quick and easy, and I personally think it turned out pretty cool, so if you're interested in seeing how I designed it, stick around. Alright, so after taking some measurements, I jumped into Fusion 360 and started a sketch where I made an 8mm circle. Then I extruded that up to 4mm, and I started another sketch on top of this one with an 11mm circle. And I extruded it up 7mm. Once more, I started another sketch on top of the last one and made it a 15mm circle and extruded it up another 7mm. Then I grabbed the ring around the top of the bottom cylinder and the top of the top cylinder and gave them a 3mm fillet. Then I grabbed the top of the middle cylinder and gave it a 5mm fillet. Next, I grabbed the two lines left and gave them a 1mm fillet just to remove any sharp edges, any hard edges. Next, I started another sketch on the bottom with a 4.5mm circle. And then I grabbed a center drawn rectangle and made it 4.5mm on one side and 4mm on the other. When I extrude this, I just want to grab the inside shape that these two shapes make. This makes more sense if you're looking at the shaft of a tuner. It's keyed to have two round sides and two flat sides. Anyway, I grabbed that and extruded it up 6mm. Now I need a hole for the screw, so I started another sketch on top and made a 4.5mm circle that I extruded down until it met the keyhole for the tuner shaft, which was about 12mm. Then I gave that hole a chamfer, which ended up being 2.25mm. Alright, and that's the basic shape done. Now I just have to add the knurl to give myself something to grip. For time's sake, I'm going to fast forward through this part, but if you're interested in seeing how I did that, I will leave a link in the description to a video I made going into more detail. It will also show up on screen at the end of this video. Okay, and here is the final product. Now I just have to save it as a mesh and get it open in Cura. I have it set in Cura to have 4 walls, and it's so small the infill doesn't really matter. I also have an 8-line brim, just to make sure this thing doesn't topple over. Anyway, let's print it out. Okay, and here it is. And now I'm just going to take off the old tuning peg by unscrewing the screw holding it on. Making sure not to lose either of those washers that are on there. Then I just pop the new one on and tighten the screw back. And now I'm checking that it actually works. You can see it loosening and tightening the strings pretty easily. I was pretty happy with this, so I just started printing the rest of them. And here's what they all look like installed. The red looks alright, but I really only did that for visibility in the video. So of course I had to print them all again in black to match the rest of the guitar. These would be really cool printed out like on an SLA printer or even in metal. That would be really cool. I also wouldn't recommend these unless you have locking tuners.
Come on.
I mean, unless you just really like winding by hand.
Go.
Then I guess it's fine.
Come on.
Anyway, when I upload this model, I'm also going to upload a Fusion 360 file that you can easily edit to make sure this fits your tuners. Just open it up, come over here and expand the sketches folder, and I have everything nicely labeled so you can just right click on peg hole and choose edit sketch. To change this to fit your needs, just double click on my measurements and change them to yours. So for example, I'm just going to change this to 6 millimeters on the circle and 6 by 6.5 millimeters on the square. After that, hit finish sketch and it will update the model. From there, you can just save it as a mesh and print it out. But this whole model is editable. You can back up the whole timeline here and change anything you want.